Intro button over here. Is that
No,
new?
no, it's right here. We'll just do this.
Sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
We are on.
Get me on there. All right. Go. Big red indeed. No block, no rock. With a special episode here. I don't know. You people see this guy sitting next to me. Are you kidding me right now?
I'm here.
You kidding me? Neil Smith. First of all, can I just run down like your resume? Is that okay?
You can
It
do
might
whatever
take a
you
while.
please. It's your show.
It's like a whole
Yeah.
novel. Like,
As if he doesn't know it already.
well, for the fans out there that might not know, listen, we got a Husker legend here.
Thank you.
Second overall pick in the NFL draft. He is a Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Famer. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler. He is a 2-time Super Bowl champ. He was an All-American at Nebraska.
Yep.
What am I missing? Am I missing anything?
Fiesta Bowl defensive player of the game.
Yeah.
Fourth all-time in tackles at the University of Nebraska.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Y'all brought me back.
Welcome back.
We asked you because I go, Neil, I don't know if this is a sore spot for you, but we run down that whole resume and I'm like, so how are you not a Nebraska football Hall of Fame? And you go, huh? And I go,
Well,
what? And he goes, you tell me. And I go, I don't know why.
You know what? I guess a quiet mouth can't get fed, right?
That's right.
At the end of the day, I just think I always work with the body of work.
Yeah.
I've always thought the body of work speak for itself. And I'm not one, I wasn't the Broderick Thomas of my era. Broderick was, because Broderick was a mouth from the South.
Yeah.
He was the one that made all the noise. He was the best linebacker. He came in with that loud screaming. And I just was one of those guys that just went to my business.
Yeah.
Did what I had to do and, went to class, came, to eat and worked out and played. I really I didn't get involved with everybody, everything that was, trying to be the All-American and stuff. I just had one objective.
Yeah.
to be the best I could,
Quiet warrior.
Yeah, that's what I did.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and you weren't that squeaky. Broderick was squeaky.
It was never squeaky, but consistent.
Squeaky.
I was consistent as hell. I wanted to be consistent.
Yeah. Hey, I respect that. Hey, first of all, before we get too deep into this, we want to plug our main sponsor, Nebraska Brewing Company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got myself an ale storm. Switched it up a little bit this week. Neil, what you got?
What do I have here? A smug? S'mores?
Give me s'mores.
Give me s'mores.
Yeah. Man.
Do you feel like you're at a campfire right now?
I mean, my kids love it, so when they make it for me, it tastes pretty good though.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be really, really strong, but it's got a good taste to it. You can actually taste the s'mores.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's highly drinkable.
Mhm.
And it does taste. You can taste the marshmallows in there.
Absolutely.
It's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Connor, what you got over there?
Oh, you guys already know. I'm drinking the Pilsner. I drink this every week. Anybody who's in the chat right now, I'm sure, is getting ready to roast me. But yeah, it's another Pilsner week for me.
Yeah. And for our loyal listeners, if they notice that Connor and I are sitting next to each other at the producer table, KB is out working for her at, and we had to make do. We had a lot of technical difficulties.
Y'all make a good couple though.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
That's all right, man.
We're not matching
you're
shirts.
Good. You don't have to wear matching shirts.
Oh,
You have
no,
the right one on.
It's funny you say that because there's a lot of weeks where we'll show up without having talked to each other all day.
That's good.
And like 3 times, maybe
That's the
2
worst.
times a month, we show up matching almost exactly.
Oh, okay.
We get
just-
They send
sponsors.
memos out. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
We text
So
each
you're the
other.
twins that I have that I get it. I got it. Yeah.
They just have a weird thing.
Yeah.
And we don't really talk about it out loud.
Well, normally we sit on that side of the room. So today we get to try out this side of the room. Connor, I guess you already talked about your drinking.
Yeah.
I am drinking the EOS Hefeweizen. That is the best beer at Nebraska Brewing Company, in my opinion. We could try that later. But yeah, let's talk about our other sponsor. The reason that Neil is here, we've got some guests in the room as well. Give us a little talk about Macadoodles.
Macadoodles. So first of all, this guy over here, he's going to be at Macadoodles
Absolutely.
tomorrow doing an autograph signing from 4 to 6. And their location, and I'm going to read it here because I've personally never been there.
Well, it's a new
Not
location,
yet.
so
This is a whole new location.
you got to show up tomorrow,
Woo.
man.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Hey,
I ain't got
Gotta
nothing
show up.
going on. So
3.
Wait till you see this liquor store, then you understand why I say show up.
All right.
It's one of the biggest ones out there.
okay.
Hell
It's
yeah.
big. It's huge.
3409 South 72nd Street in Omaha, Nebraska. Libations, a whole bunch of, you're going to watch the Husker football game, right? You might need a little palate cleanser.
Did you say might? Did you say might?
Will.
We're going to need some pilot cleansing.
Hey, you know what? You know what? But here's the thing, though. It could be for sadness. It could be for happiness.
Hey,
You never know.
I personally, I'm gonna swing by Macadoodles tomorrow. I'm gonna go see my boy Neil, and then I'm gonna go and stop and get some champagne because we're gonna make a freaking bowl game on Saturday, right?
There we go.
Hey, right?
So we can pop the top.
Yeah, we're gonna pop the top.
There
Let's
you
go,
go.
baby.
I was gonna
We
go,
need this win, man.
I was gonna go kind of the same route. I'm gonna get some champagne for the win, and I'm gonna get some whiskey for a loss.
Yeah.
We got a lot of whiskey.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot of inventory, man. That's all I can say. It's a lot of inventory. And that's just why I'm here. Being an ambassador that they want me to be. So I got to push it.
Yeah.
I don't sell liquor, but I'm selling my friends liquor. So
Good,
I got to push Macadoodles because they've been good to me.
Yeah.
They don't give me free liquor now, but I go to the store for free.
Yeah.
It's a business. And that's how it's supposed to be, right?
Well,
Got to make money.
Neil, you were just telling us right before we went live that you've known these guys for 20 years.
Yep. Derek Spicer, absolutely.
That's a dog.
And then
you're out
Randolph.
here- You're out here supporting your friend's business. That is exactly what people should be doing. That's a dog move.
That is me, man. That's the way I was raised. I mean, I give back. I'm a community guy. In Kansas City, everybody know this. I do whatever it takes to help the next one. And it's not all about me. I have this platform that I used to play on Sundays and everybody want to get to me. So now I'm going to the people. I'm reaching out to the people and touching them. And these are the kind of things that I do every weekend and week out, to help people. And, why not help your friends, to get to the next level. Very, very, Randolph's a very, very, busy man, but he's a businessman. him and his crew, that they put up these hotels and he put things around there to make the community better. So this is what we have to do. I just fall in line. I fall in line with it.
Well, I will say, one of the big mottos at Nebraska Brewing Company is world class in every glass. Macadoodle seems like a world class business, especially building up the community around them. I think that is it's very fitting to be on this show because that's one of our sponsors. And it seems like Macadoodles fits right in with what we like to do around here.
It's beautiful.
So we love it.
Yeah, they don't call you an ambassador for nothing. I mean, that's a lot to live up to.
Do you know I'm the one that gave myself that name, the ambassador?
Hey, that's the best kind of title is when you get to choose it.
Absolutely.
You're earning it.
I don't want nobody's. I call myself the ambassador. So I just put myself in that spot, just not walking in.
It's fair. Listen, you come on this podcast, you're an ambassador.
All right,
you're
I appreciate
dedicated.
it. I appreciate it.
And we of course appreciate you coming on. And just once again, Macadoodles. This guy is going to be signing stuff. There's going to be like free tastings there. Like, go check that out.
You can bring the kids too. We just can't put them liquor in them, but you can bring them. Neil love kids,
Yeah.
He loved the kids.
Okay, and another thing too on my list, they got their signed jersey raffle as well. You go there, you have a chance to win a signed Neil Smith Nebraska jersey.
Oh wow!
And with an extra raffle ticket for each purchase of Macadoodle's George Remus barrel pick.
Ooh.
What is
Barrel
that?
pick. I don't know.
We're about to find
For an extra
out.
raffle ticket, I'm about to buy one.
You're about to find out.
Hey, that's an easy 100 to drop in that one. I don't even know what it is, but the jersey. You know what? I didn't even bring a Kansas City jersey, nor a Denver jersey, so it might be something we can consider. I can always get it back here.
Yeah.
I come down all the time. So
Yeah.
All right. Now, I want a Neil Smith Nebraska jersey on 2 conditions. If it's a half jersey, right? And it's gotta be mesh.
Well, that's
official,
true,
baby.
Well, it was never short. I made it short. I actually put tape on it for some reason. I don't know why. I wanted to be a short jersey, but they wasn't making short jerseys unless you was a running back. They could wear whatever they want. But linemen, I tried to be as sweet as those running back was. So I thought I was cute, and it put me some tape on the front of it. That's when I had abs. Now I just got a little zero going, but
well, honestly, you're probably as fast as a lot of those running backs.
Oh yeah, no, they can't step with me now. And and growing up and going to Nebraska, everybody, if you know me, I got to learn late how to lift weight. Board Eppley was a big part of my growth and the system that Nebraska had. And get me to actually being the lift of the year, my senior year. My team voted me on that. Just everything that just fell in place, at the university. And I've always got teased about my calves, right? What you guys don't understand, I was a basketball player. Most basketball players that can jump out the gym, they don't have very big ankles. And they don't have very big calves. So I always work overtime on my calf, which I got a little definition in them now. But it took me about 50-something years to get it. I used to wear double socks, where, everybody look at me like, man, he got to stay in his calf. I say, have you ever seen a deer, run or jump? You can't run with me and you can't jump with me. So that's why I always say, you know what I'm saying? So if you look at me, I'm a deer. He's got a big body, but he got little legs, no calves, but he can run and jump. That's how I see myself.
Listen, don't mistake his tiny calves for weakness.
That's right.
Really quick, we have a super chat, Mike. If you want to put that back on the screen.
Yeah, we got a super chat.
Unfortunately, this is my coworker, Colin Comerford.
Oh, you gave him the inside to get that first.
Yeah, so he donated his $4.99, and he said there are 2 constants in the world. 1, every glass of Nebraska Brewing Company beer is going to be world class. Number 2. Wisconsin beats Nebraska. Go Badgers.
Oh, my
He's
God.
from Wisconsin.
Fire him.
Yeah.
He's from Wisconsin.
Thanks for donating $4.99 to us. Yeah. And we're going to beat the Badgers, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
Listen, you give us money, so we kind of forgive you, but still.
I don't. I hate Colin.
It's kind of fuck you a little bit too.
Yeah, it is.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I hate Colin.
Hey,
What's
Colin.
funny is he's a Badger fan.
Yeah.
And he watches us every week.
Hey,
rent free, Colin.
might be the
Actually,
week,
not
though.
rent free. You paid $4.99 for it.
This might be the week that Colin, you listening? This is our week, okay? It's coming in right after you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I hope so.
Hey, you know what, Neil? this kind of segues into my next question, but it's like, I just want to say with that thought process, this is our week. We're going to do it.
It's going to be the week.
I need the team to feel that. I need the team to believe that. Not you, with all due respect, but I need the team to believe that themselves. And yeah, I mean, the pressure's,
what would
the
you
pressure's
say?
there.
What would you say if you was dressing the team? What would you say?
What would I say?
You got to say something to fire them up. If you need the team to know, what are you going to do? That's a question for for everyone. But then, as a head coach, you go in there and how do you touch your players to where they're at right now? You know what I'm saying? And the main objective to me, I'm just saying, like, you know what? You take one play at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You take one play at a time and you finish. Finish is the key. You started this good. It was we started off the way we want to be. We hit a bump in the road. That's called adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Now finish it.
Right.
You just got to finish what you're doing. And I think that if you finish the whole game without putting yourself in bad situations, turning the football over, jumping offside, getting personal fouls, and then the target thing, I understand that's just a part of the game. But man, I tell you what, there's so many kids that's getting ejected out of this for just trying to do the right thing. And it's not all their fault, because if you're going that fast, somebody's helmet gonna hit somebody.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter if you target high or low. I really think that they need to really look into that a little bit more. I understand they're trying to protect the players and stuff, but man, they're losing a lot of great players in the secondary, this period to have that at that level. But for Nebraska, if they just finish the football game, they start with intensity. You gotta just finish the game. That's it. Don't put yourself in bad situations. Don't put yourself offensively in long situations where you have to make a play right now. And if this play is not it, we're so used to that, that failure part. So if you just do the little things in front of, win on first down, you know what I'm saying? Win on first down, win on second down, make it really easy for the quarterback to actually have, a short distance where he can throw the football or we can run the football.
Right.
A running game, we got to pick it up a little bit more. If you pick the running game up, allow ourselves to really dominate, a team and can take control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it be a throwing fest.
So, Neil, you ask what we would say. I want to answer that with another question.
Sure.
Were you a guy that needed that speech to hype you up, or were you just self-driven, knowing that, I can go out there and I can dominate this and I can do my job? Or were those speeches like a big part of, what got you going right before the game?
Well, it was a learning curve. I'm saying the first 2 years, being on the scout team, putting yourself in situations where we was. I'll never forget, me and Lawrence Pete was my roommate. We'll sit there and we was put in the wrong situation, but we made the best out of it. We could say, okay, well, they're going to put us in here and they know they're going to block this play, run this play. What would we do to blow it up? And we used to practice hard for our offense team. So we weren't going to just sit there and be like sacrifice lambs and just sit there and just let them just run the play. So we made it hard for them. Okay, we're in this here spot. This is what they're going to do. And we go make the play in the backfield. And they just, Coach, I want to lose his mind. He was really mad. He was upset because we was interrupting their practice. But we made ourselves grow to where we're going to be like that. So it's a learning curve as you go along with, with the growth. I think that it just suits very well that, you learn and then you take that spot, you'll know, when you need to speak up and when you need to say something. It's not that rah, rah guy. It's the guy that's going to say the right thing to make you move.
Kind of going back to your question about what we would say, continuing on.
You thought about it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, right?
He needs some time.
All right. I threw it at him real quick. Now you know how I feel like to be when you get an interview.
I got a slow blinker, as they say.
Sure.
I think I know what I would not say, and that's the coveted number that we got to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We all know it by now.
6, right?
6. Right? I'm not saying 6 because, again, I just feel like, and maybe this kind of touches on the Tom Osborne aspect of things, where it is one play at a time. Yep. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. Your most significant opponent is yourself, right? Doing your job. I don't care if it has a Trojan on the side of their helmet or if it's an ugly red W.
Yeah.
It's a white W. But
is it?
No.
well, depending on what helmet they're wearing.
They were the white one with
They
the
always
red
was
W.
red. Yeah.
They've got red helmets
Google
with
it.
white dubs. They've
But-
got red helmets with white dubs.
But you get my point.
Right.
It's you.
It's the W stands for wannabe Nebraska, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jared and I went to Madison. It was weird. They got like
Very weird.
go big red, like on like painted all over their bars and
Yeah.
stuff. And it was just weird. It was like a wannabe Lincoln, which makes sense for a guy like Barry Alvarez. He built Lincoln North, essentially.
Sure.
He built it. He built a
Almost.
great program, and they win football games because they do it the Nebraska way.
Always
Or,
did. when
or
I was
they
there.
used to.
They used to. Now,
It's getting a little weird up there.
air raid.
But like, I guess I'll
So
throw
what you saying? They gonna change the name?
Yeah, maybe.
No, they're not gonna do that. They just need to get some better players. That's all.
Well, I think I'll kind of throw it to you, putting you on the spot. It's like, and I know Nebraska football at your time was a little bit different, just a little bit.
Yeah, it was a lot different.
It's not like,
We're coming out though. Go ahead.
well, I was
I'm
going to say like TO's not in front of the team going, hey, let's make the Fiesta Bowl. Hey, let's make the Sugar Bowl. Hey, let's make the Orange.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. It's a lot different now, but it's doing what you're supposed to be doing. I don't care what the dude in front of me is doing, right? Whatever necessary. Do you?
Well, I mean, you got to compete. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna compete with this guy, or you're gonna just let him push you around. You know, you can't just be. Back in the day, some games we used to play, and I won't say because my guys from Missouri there, Derek, and we used to play those teams.
Mhm.
And sometimes we can just roll out there and roll your helmets on. That's the Nebraska of old.
Right.
They know what they was gonna get coming in, and it was all of that plus more.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just saying no one is afraid no more. You know what I'm saying? So even these teams, these younger teams that come here, that's been together, that comes with this, with these seniors, that's 4th, 5th year seniors, they feel like they can compete. They want to make their team, have a big victory. And they never did that before. But I think we're coming out. I think Coach Rhule is doing some things now that's changing the atmosphere of where we're going at. And it's still, I know, we almost there. We're real close. And I really believe that we will get the 6th win. But I think it's going to happen this week. But we got to finish.
Right.
It's the matter. The bottom line is this here. We can sit here and talk to the blue in the face or press every button and find out, where we're at and who's going to make the plays. But you got to make more plays. You got to make more plays than they do.
Right.
You got to create more turnovers than they do. And we got to have less mistakes than they do.
Mhm.
And that's how you win football games. And it's pretty simple, but it's always got to be, it's got to be one of car. It's almost got to be that togetherness. It's got to gel together. And this is the time that I think the seniors need to speak up. And you know what? Tell the coaches get out of the room. Now, who are we? And you just have a closed meeting and go down the line and let guys hear from other people. Somebody can say something, that maybe a senior can get this freshman to play a little better, or bring the junior up or the sophomore. That's what you got to do sometime.
Right.
So is it safe to say that right now you're still a Rhule believer? There's been a lot of commentary of people starting to doubt Rhule because I think in games to clinch that coveted 6th win, right now he's 0-8.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people doubting him and talking about, what's the next move. I want to be clear that this room right here, we are still behind Rhule.
I'm not
100%.
buying it. I'm not buying the next. I'm thinking this is the man we need.
Yeah.
No question. I have talks with him. I know him very well. And I think that he's what we need. Everybody think that, okay, Coach Prime, which is a great friend of mine, up in Colorado, how he turned it around in 1 year. There was a worse team than it was last year. Well, you know what? We're making progress.
Mhm.
And sometimes progress comes with timing. Timing is everything. If you don't have the time to, if you don't have your timing down, then of course it's going to look like it's taking eternity. It took like eternity to get to where we are now. So I believe in Coach that he'll get it turned around. We just have to offensively. There's some things that we have to do to make it comfortable for the young quarterback, and that's just it. I mean, you can't put him in 3rd down and 15 and 20s and expect him to come out, and throw that pass. You put him in that spot because if you look at every time that we've ever been in a situation, we're trying to move the ball down the field. What did they do? they blitzers.
Oh yeah,
Right up the middle.
Zero blitz, right up the middle.
Right up the middle.
They got
Yep.
shoot.
You see what I'm saying? And, you know, we got to move him around a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? If you like to throw on a run, move him. Move him out of the spot, you know? Make sure you got max protection. Don't let everybody go out. If you give max protection, you give him time.
Right.
You have to arm to throw it down there. So it's a lot of little things that, you know, you could see looking at the game, you know, and I played a lot of it, but it's a lot of things that can be fixed, is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's not the coach by any means, not Matt Rhule.
And you say it's not Matt Rhule, and obviously your son is on the team right now.
Sure.
Can you talk about kind of how that process went with your son and like having the faith that this man and this staff would take care of your son at Nebraska?
You know, he sat down. He made that decision himself. You know, and I tell everybody, I was like, you know, I had a little part of, you know, Keelan's decision. He wanted to follow, you know, in footsteps, and that's what fathers does. Now, you know, he's my son. I'm not saying that but he had a great meeting with Coach Rhule, and then the first thing he came back and said, you know what, I like him and I trust him. That's what you need. That's what your kids. I mean, it makes it easy.
Absolutely.
If somebody comes in and sit down and say, you know what, we're gonna work with you. You know, I'm sure he's probably upset. He's not getting the time. But time is everything. You know, I spent 3 years on the bench. You know, you get that one opportunity to make it right. And what are you going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? So I played a lot my junior year. I could have started my junior year. I thought I should have started my junior year. Charlie McBride begged the difference. Yeah. You know, and he just kept me back. And he kept me back. You're going to get your turn. But he's always said, and Charlie was more hard on me than anybody I think that he ever coached. He would be one of the first ones to say.
I'm about to text him.
You have to go ahead and text him. He'll tell you.
Charlie's been on the show before.
Yeah.
So Charlie was more hard on me than anybody in the beginning. And I was like, you know, but I was so used to these in-the-face coaches, you know, that, you know, I know how to handle them. And I loved it because it always made me pay attention to details. And that's how, you know, I grew in learning how to do it. And I remember one time he checked my face mask and he was just close to my face and he was spitting his chew all in my face and telling me that I'm a child of God and this and that, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, he knew he kind of broke me a little bit, you know, because I never cried, but I turned my back and I said, wow, I'm taking this, but yet I'm still here. You're not going to break me. And then he brought us all together as a group and he sat down and he said, y'all want to know why the hell I'm so hard on that kid? He said, because he's better than every one of you son of a bitches here. Hell yeah. You know? And he said, badass. He got it. He just don't know he got it. And I'm not going to let him leave unless he know he got it. So it put a lot of that in me. Yeah. Because I had that type of coach, you know. So the coaches is different now. You know, these players are different, as they will say, you know, but
soft.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can say soft.
You can't
we're
talk
not
to
calling
them.
all of them soft.
Not Keelan. Keelan ain't soft.
Yeah, we're not calling all of them soft.
I'm not calling them soft. I'm just saying that, you know, I said sometime, you know, when I was playing, most of the coaches were in the face. Now these coaches are now just letting these kids basically coach. They just coach them. That's it. Yep. They can't say the hard enough things. You know, they can't say the things that they want to say to them because now, you know, they don't want to be coached like that.
And then they go in the portal and
then they left.
Yeah.
They're leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we talk consistently. Sorry, Jared, go on.
Well, I have to get this out. Charlie McBride is viewed by the college football world as one of the best D coordinators of all time. Okay. Sure. And this approach that coaches have to players, gosh, you really planted a seed here in my mind pretty quickly. I think there's a reason why a guy like that, Charlie McBride, is so highly regarded, so successful, because he had that approach with you, but he treated it like a sandwich.
Sure.
Right? I'm giving you shit. Why am I giving you shit? Because you're great.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you more shit. Like he couched it with that. And I don't know if
he kept me back. You know, he just kept holding me back. It was like, I just want to rush. I want to play. Yeah. Now, one of the funniest things ever is when I went pro and my first year, you know, not my first year, when I went to the bowl games or the Senior Bowl, it was two times I went to a Hula Bowl and I went to the Japan Bowl. They used to have one in Japan, right?
Yeah. You won MVP of that one too, right?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I had like 4 sacks in each. And I get this call on my way back in from, I guess I was coming from Japan or whatever. And I get back and Charlie said, well, where the hell that come from? And I'm like, I'm like, I've never seen you ever. I said, Coach, I have been telling you from day one that I'm not a damn tackle. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm in. Yeah. I kept telling you. You said, no, you do what the hell I want you to do. So I did what he wanted me to do for 4 years, but I was putting a bug in this guy. He was like, man, look, I'm in here. I'm watching some of the greatest pass rushers ever. And in my mind, I thought, once I started seeing, you know, like Jim Scowl and them, and they go pro and stuff, people went pro before me. I'm like, wait a minute now. I'm like, well, damn, he can't hold my jock. I'm like, but he admired me. You know, he put it in me that, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. So I just dug a little bit harder. Seeing the people that you know, Scowl and Noonan and all those guys go before me, I said, well, I could do it too. So it kind of planted a seed in me to see myself, you know, as a college player to get to the next level. So the more the story is that, you know what, I've always knew that once I got the formula that it was going to be successful. I just did. You know, I watched the greatest Reggie White.
Oh yeah.
You know, I watched Bruce Smith.
There you go.
I mean,
who'd you model your game after?
So here's the thing. Out of all of them, you know, Charles Mann, Dexter Manley, when I watched those guys and I seen each one of them had something different. They all did. And I said, well, wow, who can I pat myself after? Well, I said, I don't want to pat myself after none of them. I just want to get what they have, do what they can do, emulate the things that I can emulate. And that's what I was telling. That's what I tell everybody. It's like, I already had it in my mind. So, you know, I know Bruce is a dipper. He could turn the corner, you know, on a dime. I know Reggie was a 3-step guy, stop, plant, and throw, rip, you know, and, you know, Charles Mann was, you know, straight up, he was a more power guy. So all these players played a part in the back of my head that I liked it. And I just, you know, I just put it all to one. So, okay, I know I got it in me. Now I'm a little bit behind because I'm in the pros now. And I didn't know how to put it together. So what I do, I take the time out to do the things that was necessary for me in my growth period. Took me 2 years to really get it down. And it really helped to have a outside backer like Derek Thomas.
Oh yeah.
You know, to play with. So when I seen the way he did it, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I can't let him outdo me like that. You know, he just come like, you know, like he do it like it was effortless. But me, I was trying to practice more. I was trying to emulate it more. No, just let it go. So players gotta just in their mind, they just gotta, you know, stop playing tight. You know, just let it go. Don't worry about making the mistakes. You know, if you make the mistake, make the play. You know, make the mistake on the way to the play. But you can't, you got to know that you got to stay so in tune in what you're doing. You can't jump offside as a defensive player at the wrong time. You can't, offensive guy, you can't false start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just can't do it. You know, those things hurts the team. You know, pass interference, God knows, everything is called pass interference now. You mean, I'm like, you know, I would never want to be a DB. And I'm glad Keelan picked to be a wide receiver. I mean, you know, I mean, if he ever said he wanted to play defense, I was like, no, stay there. And if it don't happen, I don't care.
He never wanted to get big and strong and go play on the D-line?
Well, I mean, they did ask him, did he play defense? And I don't know what his response was, but he can play defense a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, be a tight end then. If you want to be a receiver, be a tight end. Just play offense. You know, that's where all the fun is at. You know, let the skill guys does that. I mean, I know he got some skills, but he ain't me. You can't get out there and just, you know.
How often do you tell him that?
He knows.
He knows. So you talk about McBride getting in your face. You talk about jumping off sides. We talk a lot about mental strength and how it's incredibly important if you were chasing that win. Were there times, and you had a very long career, were there times where that, like, you had those doubts and you had to fight through them? Or were you always just, you knew you were a dog?
No. And like I said in the beginning, it was hard, man. I mean, the tour days was different. We had a coach, Marty Schottenheimer. He didn't believe in letting back and letting down on nobody. I mean, he came in. We had 2 hours of practice. I remember the first year he came, 2 hours of tour days, you know, full pads. And we went for 5 weeks straight. I mean, the first 2 weeks, I was on the side of my bed. It's like, I can't do this no more. It's the first time I almost got broke. And I just said to myself, I'm like, and I got up there, I couldn't feel my legs. And I was like, man, this is it. I just can't do this no more. I don't want it no more. I can't do it. And then I turn around and I look at the mirror and I walk over to the mirror and the mirror said, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? You know, you going back to New Orleans? What are they going to think about you? You're here now. And if he can break you in 2 hours, then you never should have been here anyway. So I started questioning everything that I did. But I had a goal leaving out of the University of Nebraska when I left from here. The goal was that I wanted to make sure I had got past 3 to 5 years, because the guys that was coming out of Nebraska, they say that, you know, we worked so hard in college. They, you know, with all the training and all of, you know, the weightlifting, the guys got into the pros and they wouldn't last no more than 2 or 3 years. They get burned out. Well, that was one of my main goals. So I'm like, okay, so I had to find that remedy to how I can, but it was hard because I had a hard coach, man.
Yeah.
You know, so when I found out about the plunge, you know, taking the plunge, the cold tubs, man, I lived in them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, treatment is, I mean, it's how you take care of your body, how you get it back to where, you know, every week it's firing. It's firing. It's firing. And it's not easy. I mean, it's you know, at the pro level especially, you know, you ask a lot on your body. You ask a lot, you know, to play every play. And I played every play, you know, and I played so hard that I wanted to leave the football field never once knowing that I didn't give my all. And, you know, I learned earlier when I got whipped by one of the greatest, Anthony Munoz, one of the greatest offensive linemen ever. I mean, he beat me like a stepchild, you know, and
redheaded stepchild.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, he just knocked me all over the field. And I was like, man, this is unreal.
This is what it's like. Oh,
yeah,
God.
this is what it's like. So it was awakening for me. And I never forget when I was a rookie, and people thought I was crazy because I walked into the locker room. I walked into the locker room first, and I said, and I apologized to my team. I said, I want to tell y'all right now, I'm not going to watch the film. I said, I played the worst football game I've ever played in my life, and I can promise you this day, it will never happen again. From that day, I started growing up, and these guys, you know, they was like, oh, this kid, he's just whatever.
Right. I thought you were joking.
No, until you turn it on and see, I knew I had no legs. You know, I felt like I never lifted weight. This man was just ragdogging me. And I said, okay, this is where I've started. This is not going to happen to me. And then I kind of rebounded, make yourself again. So it's always adversity. Adversity comes in all part of life. And I tell people all the time, it's like, you know, if you can just, you know, get through the adversity part, you know, just like business start, they don't start the way you want to, but eventually they're going to get there, you know, and it's just patient and time. And it's just, you know, at the right time. This is why we promoting today. You know, we pushing a new business.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's just, it's so leap. Everything in football is really into life.
Yeah. I mean, it's a leap. You took a leap to trust yourself to go to University of Nebraska.
Sure.
You took a leap when you got drafted, doing all those things, and then, you know, probably taking a leap when you went and played from other teams too. Yeah. Like, I mean, talk a little bit about that. I mean, you went from Nebraska, Kansas City, went on to win some Super Bowls in Denver. Like, talk about how that was, like, just the change and being able to adapt and pivot. Like, I mean, you have to do that in a business. You got to do that in life. Like, how was that?
Well, I can tell you one thing. You know, it was the very first year of free agency, and I didn't know. I've been hearing the rumors that, you know, they was trying to trade me to get picks for me and everything. It didn't really bother me because, I mean, you know, you got to have the mindset that anything can happen at any good time. Right. So, you know, and you got to learn the business as you go, you know. Boy, I tell you, when I made a decision that I was going to go to the Broncos, and it wasn't by my choice, it was really by my agent. May he rest in peace, Eugene Parker. I was going all over the place, and I was just sick and tired, man, of just traveling, going to these teams, first year of free agents. They tell me the same thing. Well, you know, ain't no money here, this and that. We can't pay you this here. We can give you a bonus. You know, I heard it all. And I just said to myself, my God, I trusted my God that, you know, I was going to have him to deliver me and let me know where I need to be at. Well, I'm on my way back from Philadelphia, and Eugene called me up and said, "Hey, Neil, you need to make a stop. You know, they got one more team that's requiring on you." And he said, "I think it might be the best interest." I'm like, "Who is this?" He said, "The Broncos." I'm like, "Denver?" I'm like, "Oh no, I ain't going no damn Denver." Just like that, I just said it.
Right.
And he stopped me. He said, "Hold on." He said, "You don't understand. You're a free agent. You can go anywhere you want to, but you cannot knock people down from not. You got to understand. You got to let me handle this." And he told me, he said, "You go to Denver, and then you call me when you get back." So basically, your agent worked for you, but you can't overrule them. You got to listen to them. And he told me one thing. He said, "You know, they was the first team that ever went to the West and swept the West last year." I said, "No, they didn't sweep us." So yes, they did. They beat you at home and they beat you abroad. And I was like, "You're right."
Oh, wait.
Yeah, you're right. So they swept the whole division the year before. They got beat in the first round by Jacksonville, being the number 1 seed. And when I went there, I didn't know what to expect. I went there, it was like a recruit trip all over again. They all do that. They pick you up, they bring you up, you know. So I pulls up, and I forget, there was Steve Atwater, that was Terrell Davis, you know, Shannon Sharp. And then you were looking at John Elway, it was Rob Smith, all these guys out there just running sprints. What the hell are they doing? They're just running sprints and running plays and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I get out of the car. And I'm like, you know, they all came over and said, "Hello, hey, man, we'll holler at you. You know, we'll see you at dinner, this and that." And this. I'm like, is this stage or what? But no, these guys were working out. They was already hitting it. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm trying to get my body healed because I just got to see these guys had already said, "No, this ain't going to happen again." So, you know, see that, went out to the dinner, and I was just waiting for something to happen. And Terrell, you know, said it best, but one player said it like I knew he would. You know, Steve Atwater took me to dinner, went out to dinner, and he said, like, and I asked him, like, how everything goes here, man. He's like, "Hey, man, we don't hit. You know, we don't practice hard. We don't practice long." I said, "What do you mean you don't hit?" "No, we don't wear pads. We don't beat each other up. We don't do 9-on-7." I'm saying, "And we only on the field for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm like, "What?" I said, "Okay, cool. That sounds real good." I'm like, I'm all in. If you gonna say that, that's cool. I'm loving this.
I'm trying to heal up. So
yeah, I'm like, he said, like, "Yeah, man." He's like, he said, "I'm gonna tell you something, Neil." He said, "I'll promise you one thing." He said, "If you come to this team, you're the missing piece that we need for us to win the Super Bowl." Bro, I stopped and I almost dropped dead. I felt like I looked this man in the eyes. I looked him in the eyes and I said, it's just like I fell in love with a girl.
Right.
And I was like, "What did you say?" And I made him say it 3 times. 3 different times he said it. He said, "If you come to us, we'll win the Super Bowl." He said, "You all what we need. This you alone, your present." And I said, okay. And I just kept it in, right? So I goes back in and see Coach Shanahan, tell him, you know, hello and goodbye or whatever. And I'm walking out the door and he tells me, he's like, "Hey, Neil." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know, I hope you make the right decision. You know, whatever decision we would love to be, you know, a part of it or whatever." "Okay, Coach." You know, he just didn't know what Steve said to me, and I didn't tell him. And I'm just trying to just get out of here. He said, "Well, the equipment manager downstairs want to see you." I said, "Equipment manager?" "Yeah." He said he think he know you or you know somebody of him. I'm like, "Okay, cool." I go downstairs, see the equipment manager, and he's this guy. He's in there, and he said, "Hey, man, I want to show you something." So, "Okay, yeah, what you got, bro?" He's like, he said, and he walks me into this dude. He walks me into the locker room, and he turns on his freaking lights, and they got all new unis, the new look.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, the whole new look and this and that. Had my locker right next to John Elway and Terrell and this and that. And I was like, "What is this?" He said, "This is our new This is our new look. This is our new uniform, saying this is what we're going to." I said, "Wow, that's beautiful." That's real nice. You know, he said, and he said, "No one have ever seen it." I said, "Is that right?" He said, I promise you, no one's seen it." I said, "Okay." So I can't wait to get to the car now. So I get to the car, man, and the car picked me up. And the first thing I do, I was call my wife. I said, "Hey," she said, "Well, how did it go?" I said, "Well, I'm trying to whisper and tell her how it went, but she's not understanding." I said, "Yeah, I can't talk right now. I just, you know, I'm in the car and I need to do." She's like, "I don't want to hear it. I just want to hear what you're talking about." I'm like, "Okay, give me about like 30 minutes. I get to the airport and I call you." And she rang my phone for 30 minutes until I told her I said. So I finally get out the car and I said, I think I'm going to Denver. And she's like, what? I don't think so. Yeah, I said, I think so.
I think so.
So that visit was that good, man. You know, it was just one of those things that, you know, it rejuvenated me in the later part of my career that I thought that, you know, I needed this. And Coach Shanahan looked me in my eyes. That's why I tell you, when you got a coach and your coach is with you, here's are the things that you can feel comfortable about. If a man look in your eyes and tell you what he's going to do and he do it, then his word is born. He told me I wasn't going to practice hard. He told me I wasn't going to pray 2 days. And he told me I wasn't going to put no pads on because I know what you can do. He said, that's all I want you to do is continue to do what you want to do, but we're going to do it on Sunday. Now we're going to practice. You're going to condition. We're going to get you in shape. But when you come in on Sunday, you got to show up. Bet.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm a gamer. It was like night and day.
Yeah, like, hey, what was this guy 10 years ago?
Right.
And you know, it was so funny that I talked to Bruce Smith last week, and we was out in Mexico, and we was talking about Marty, and Marty came to him later part of his career. Marty Schottenheimer, I can't say it, but he was a Pro Bowl coach one time, and Bruce Smith and them, they broadcast him because they didn't want to wear pads. He's talking about, yeah, go back to the place and get your pads. We're going to practice pads. He said, man, I ain't hit nobody. Season is over. What are you talking about putting pads? So all the guys in the Pro Bowl wouldn't wear pads because of Marty.
Wow.
So he met Marty again when he was up in Washington, and he tried to pull that again. And Marty wanted to get rid of him, and the owner said, nope, it ain't going to happen. I ain't getting rid of Bruce Smith.
It's Bruce Smith.
Yeah, I ain't getting rid of Darryl. I ain't getting rid of Darryl. He's like, I'm not doing it. So the moral of the story is, like, you know, if you have a great coach, the coach trusts in you, you trust in yourself. You know, if it matches, they'll take care of you, man. So, you know, coaches are not the issue. You know, they're not really the problem.
So I have a question. You are known. You've got so many great hits. We could put a 2-hour tape up there, and I don't think we'd cover all of them.
I played for 13 and a half years, 14 years, and you can put 2 hours of tape. Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't cover all of those hits in 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Is there one hit that sticks out to you, like one play? Because I have one I want to ask you about, but I don't want to give it to you first.
Okay.
And how many of those would be roughing the passer?
Yeah.
How many of those would you have kicked out of the game?
Every one of them would be. You're on the bench going in. That's got to be the worst. That got to be the worst walk, to have to walk off the field knowing that you did nothing and you're going to get punished for.
And you gave him a first down.
Yeah.
Because you played football.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in 2000, you know, I understand where the league is going at. In 2000, they started to change that. And that's really what ran me out of the game, because I think I was getting fined like 10 grand every time.
Getting paid to do my job?
I was getting fined 10 grand every time I did a tackle on somebody. I'm like, what am I doing? And they said, start throwing flags. You can't do this. And they never told us once we couldn't leave what I had. We couldn't. You had to tackle with our shoulders. Had someone to say, look, just hit him with your shoulders, I would have did it.
Yeah.
But they crucified us. I mean, you know, I'm like, man, I'm not making no money. I'm like, I'm getting
You're
fined.
taking my paycheck right now.
Exactly. I'm getting fined for stuff, but, you know, it's a part of the game. It's an adjustment. But the one hit, I don't know, it's a lot of hits that I had. Getting back to you, I think that one later in my career that I hit Jeff Blake, I think it was, for the Cincinnati Bengals he was with. And I came off the end, and this is the first time someone never touched me. And I was like, I came off the line of scrimmage. I was like,
you're like, yeah.
Went upfield, and I'm looking. I kind of hesitated because I thought it was a screen or something. Like, I'm looking, no action on my side. And he dropped back, and he just looking downfield. And he never saw me.
Oh, no.
And it's the first, I'm telling you, I hit a lot of people, but I can't. And Jeff would tell you the same thing, because I talked to him about this. He said, man, I've never been hit so hard in my life. And I can hear the man just like, oh. And he's like, and, you know, and when you bring him to the ground, he's like, oh. And he was hollering. I'm like, man, I was like, that was bad. The ball bounced out. One of my players picked up and ran it in for a score.
Did you feel bad at all?
No.
Even for a second? Like, oh, I did that, man.
No, absolutely.
Hey, let me tell you something. What did I know about football? Football is this here. It was good back then. I'm paying for it now, but guess what?
Yeah.
It was good back then, and it was really football. It's tough to watch now. To where is it at? But I understand, you know, they're trying to, for the safety of the players. I get it. I get it all. but I am never going to take a damn hit back that I ever had against nobody because you know how hard it is to do it. Football was this. Just like I got mine, somebody got my ass too. So it's just the way it goes, you know. So, I mean, hey, somebody going to crack back at you. Mike Rozier, great example. Yeah. He was the one that I think he invented the chip block. He hit me one time so hard, and he was one of the guys that I really like. I really like Mike Rozier until he hit me. And
made you go.
Yeah. No. I mean, he caught me on my shoulder, but I was least suspecting it. And I was actually playing against the Houston Oilers when they used to play with Houston. And guess who was the tackle was? Steinkühler.
Oh, wow.
So Dean Steinkühler was the end. I was going against Steinkühler, and I was just, you know, setting him up. I was looking at how he was setting me when I rushed in, and all of a sudden I see Mike step out a little bit, you know, out a little bit outside, and I thought he was just going out to get a pass, a little flare pass or whatever. So I'm looking at Steinkühler, and I'm about to put the move on him, and all of a sudden I just get a jack right up on his shoulder.
You're like, that feels familiar.
And it just hit me, and it turned me all the way around, but my head hit first. The back of my head, he caught me so good that it knocked me clean off my feet. And I don't know if you guys see chip blocks, and you see how guys come down and chip. He hit me like that, and I was like, you son of a bitch. I'm going to kill you. I'm like, every play, he was over like, I said, I'm going to get you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get you. So every time I try to get him, and we didn't play in Houston that much, but I wanted to get Mike so bad. I just couldn't get his ass before he got out of there. But, I mean, what a hell of a back he was, you know.
Yeah.
It's just fun, man. You know, you see guys, I think one of the greatest moments I ever had as a rookie, I was in a football game, and I was playing against the Broncos. I was in Kansas City, and I hit this guy, and it was my welcome to the NFL moment. And I hit this guy, and I was a big Dallas fan back in the days. A lot of people don't know. It kills me right now the way these Cowboys are playing. I kind of gave up on them a little bit, but nevertheless, I tackled this guy in the backfield, and I looks down, and I grab him, and I was like, and they help him up. I said, damn, man, that's Tony Dorsett.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, that's Tony D, man. I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, I get this guy grab me from the back of my shoulder pads and just pick me up and jack me and rip my ass up. You get your ass in the huddle. You don't do this. You don't do that. You don't help nobody up another team. I say, hey, man, hey, chill out, dude. His name was Bill Morris. I said, chill out, dude. I said, that was Tony Dorsett. He said, I don't give a damn who he is. He's the opposite. We don't pick him up.
He's the enemy.
and you know, and I look now, I'm like, everybody helping each other up. Good run.
Oh, yeah.
Good boy. Go
sure.
back now.
They're exchanging
Man, that was
jerseys.
the last time I've ever helped anybody up on the opposite team. But now it's all good buddies system. So it changed, man. Everything changed. It's fun, though.
Yeah. So I got one hit that I want to ask you about. I think it was 1987. Utah State, where you just annihilated a QB. Like
Utah State?
State.
I do remember getting a good one on Troy Aikman here.
UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm the one that split his chin. He made him put that little cup on there. I always remind him when I see that scar on his face. I say, you know how he got that, right? And I just remind him, I say, Troy, that's that hit from back in 87, you know. Right up under the chin.
How good does that feel every time you get to remind him?
That's that, man. Let me tell you something. I don't play the game to hurt nobody. It just happens,
right?
You know,
we're not talking about. How good does it feel when you get to remind him? I'm not.
Oh,
no one's rooting for injuries.
Well, he remember. Yeah, he remember.
Does he though?
Oh yeah,
does he though?
He remember.
Yeah, we don't know what
if he don't.
anymore.
You know, if he can have amnesia, I still have that picture. You know, it kind of remind me of Miami quarterback Dan Marino. Dan Marino was like, "Oh, you never sacked me before this and that." And we was to bounce on Dan, right? So I was somebody had me to sign his football card, and they gave me a card, and I was tackling him. The ball was in his hand. My hand was right here. I was just right in his sternum.
Yeah.
And I said, "That's Dan Marino." I told the kid, "Say, hey, man, let me have this card. I'll give you another one." So I kept this card forever until I seen Dan Marino. And I finally walked up to him. I said, "Hey, man, you know, I want my son to, you know, you don't mind signing this for my son, right?" He looked at me, said, "You son of a bitch."
I'm gonna get you. No, you ain't.
You mean to say I sack you? That's evidence right there, brother. That's just evidence.
Yeah. You know, okay. One of the main questions I need to ask you, Neil, I have to. I watch these games from the past. You bring up destroying Troy Aikman's chin, right? And
not by purpose, but
no, it just happened. Well, look, that's the kind of thing that happens when you're a dog and you play football, right? I see some of your teammates back in the day. I see Danny Noonan. I see Broderick Thomas. I see Lawrence Pete. I see Jake Young. I see Leroy Etienne, fellow Louisiana guy.
Yeah. New Iberia,
right. And this is a tough question for me to ask, though. Like, I'm like, how do I word this? And,
you don't have to. I was better than all of them.
Well, look. My question is like, where are the dogs at?
They still there, man.
Are they in Louisiana?
You know
what I mean? Like, I know, and hopefully Keelan's starting a renaissance of dogs on this team. But it's like I watch modern Nebraska football, and I'm just like, the game in the 80s and 90s is completely different. I get it. But where's, Ndamukong Suh, the exception,
the attitude,
the exception, like, where is that? Where has it gone?
Yeah, I don't know where and how it left the game. And it have to be because of how they changed the game, and they have a lot to do with it.
Sure.
But the niceness is it's not, it's not in football. I mean, I hate the guy I played against. You know what I'm saying? But I would always respect him. I never had no problem respecting anybody. I never called him out of names. Well, maybe I didn't. Toward the heat of the moment, I probably say some things. But the thing about it is, like, I don't know. Football is nice now. It's nice. These guys don't say nothing. I don't hear them talking on the sidelines. I'm like, I'm talking to my player next to me. I'm like, hey, man, what are they doing to you? It's like, here's what I got over here on this block, and I'm explaining. These guys go to the bench, sit down, and like, coaches look at them. They just look up at the Jumbotron.
Yeah, they got their iPad. They're doing whatever.
Like, oh, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Let me tell you something. I don't think that I would ever pick that damn thing up if I was a football player. Now, I want to be honest with you, because I know that's for school, but this ain't school out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm beyond this. What made me and a few of my teammates so good and so great is that the fact that we study. I studied the opponent. I knew everything about him. I knew where he was from. I knew his family members. I knew his sisters' names. I knew everything about him. They hand you the book for a reason. Either you open it or you turn it. They hand you film for a reason. Right. You studied it or not. I understand that the game is now technology. You can see everything now, and that's cool. That's cool to do. But I don't know if I would get just that, not knowing what I would do, putting in wise, studying more, and then when I see it there now, I see what they're doing. But they change it all the time. They give you the same looks, and then they're gonna make you feel like, okay, it's something different. That's what I want to know. What else do they do in this formation? And I know there's a lot of run, pass, slash, different stuff that they do, run option or whatever,
right.
Throw the ball for 2 yards. I mean, man, I feel like if I was playing in this area, I couldn't have at least damn near 200 sacks, because if they're not hitting and I'm just running to make plays, that's easy, for a runner, and just get yourself in shape. But
how many plays you got left in you?
None.
Are you sure?
0. I can promise you that, brother.
With the way the game is now, I mean, you might be able to...
brother. They could have caught me like 20 years ago and say that. And that's before I got replacement this and that. So no, it ain't gonna happen.
No.
Well, and so I named all these guys from the past, and it's like another question is, Tom Osborne and the rest of the staff, are they instilling that in you? I mean, that's in you naturally, but it's like, how much did they preach that to you? Is like just being ruthless and having no mercy and all that stuff. I got to assume some of that's within you, but it's like, how much was that coached in you by them?
A lot. Most of all of it, all the way through from high school. Had coaches, always, gave you the right ideas of how you want to be. I think individually, you develop an attitude to play this game. If you're going to play, you got to play with attitude. And, was you a receiver or, a running back or whatever you play on the field, it's an attitude. How do you want to be? It's aggressive play, and it's taking no prisoners. I've always said, I've had a guy one time I was putting the pressure on him so bad and so hard that he asked me, he's like, hey man, I know I'll give you this sack if you just lighten up. I ain't come here to lighten up on your ass. And I'm sorry, you're at my mercy. Now I'm not gonna just get one, I'm gonna get several against you. It's like, so I mean, I had no friends. I mean, no one is my friend when I walked out there. I mean, you got to have that mindset that it's me against the world. And if you don't have that, if you don't find it, and you just like, okay, you're going through the motions do what? Get you nothing.
Right.
Don't give you absolutely nothing. If you don't have the attitude, if you don't have the desire to finish the play when it start, I mean, it kills me now when I see plays goes away from guys and they just walking because the play went to the other side. And then it is walking, it's walking because it ain't got nothing to do with me. Well, it's snap. If you're a defender, it's snap. Get in the line of pursuit. If I got to meet him 20, 40 yards, 60 yards down the field, I'm going to get in that pursuit lane. I'm going to make that play at the goal line because I want to line up again. So it's all about effort, attitude, mindset, like I said, and it's like, and it's finish it. Finish what you start. I'm not going to come in the game if I can't finish it. I'm going to start it the same way I did. And I'm going to get harder and harder as the quarters go on. And that's how I did. That's how I had. I'm going to start off, but I'm going to go hard every play, and it's going to get even harder to you if you're not ready.
Love it.
So
Absolutely.
killer on the field. Off the field, you're a pretty nice guy.
You're pretty very humble.
I'm
God's child, no doubt.
Because you could hurt me right now if you wanted.
I can't hit you.
I mean,
No,
if you-
seriously, you're welcome to.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. All right, let me get.
Listen,
all
hey,
right, let
next
me get
one-
a drink right quick. Hold on. No,
Besides Tony Dorsett and Dan Marino, I'd be in pretty cool company. Getting hit by Nielsen. I'll take it. Whatever.
well, I just don't try me.
I won't.
Yeah, I don't like that person no more. I kind of do away with him. I just did away with him. He was one of those guys like in between the lines, and I don't know how to say it, guys. It's like, he was a bad dude. He was a mean dude. He took no prisoners. He just, 100,000 things go on my head before the ball was snapped, and I just got to make a play. You know what I'm saying? So, and then reaction to it, and and everything is against me. Everything that's out there flying is against you. You playing a chessboard against the opposition, and they don't like you. Different colors don't like you. They're the ones that's going to hurt you. And so I had all this stuff going to make me go. Now I don't know what won't make these kids gonna go or what attitude they're gonna take, but they got to find it. If you really want to be that guy, you got to find it. Is it Steve Smith? I think that played wide receiver.
Yeah, little guy.
Yeah.
Big heart.
The biggest heart I've ever seen on a little man. The attitude, he always played with an attitude, a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And I told this to him one time. I said, I've never seen a little angry guy in my life as I've seen in you.
Yeah.
And he said, Neil, you got to understand, it's like, I was a little guy, but you played big. And he played with aggressiveness, but he played with an attitude. And that's all guys, in my era played. You hear us speak, you're going to hear us all one speak, and you're going to hear the same thing, but in different terminologies and for different teams. It's just like, that's how the game was supposed to be played.
And look, I'm a Baltimore Ravens guy, so when he came to Baltimore, I'm like, hell yeah. But like even before that, and when he was with the Panthers,
Dog.
Yeah.
that's why I like him, man. I like players like that.
Now, when
Are we good over there?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're coming up probably less than 5 minutes, and we'll
Okay.
Yeah.
get him
Well,
out of here.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Okay, so as we're getting towards the end, I have one question that I really wanted to ask. The swing.
Yes.
So I was reading about it, and I was
Okay.
told that it started as a golf swing.
The very first one did.
Yeah. But it
I did.
became a home run swing because
Yeah.
of George Brett. Can you was it?
Well, it fell into as a George Brett swing.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out how I was going to give back to the fans, give them something to think about. And everybody, had their own sack move or whatever. And I'm like, man, I got to come up with something creative. Something got to hit me to make me. So I remember one Monday night, we was playing and I was sitting in there and it was late night show. And Johnny Carson from here, right?
Yeah.
Johnny
from
Carson.
Nebraska,
You remember
that's right.
Johnny Carson? And he had a joke and he hit a punchline, went brrr, and I said, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I need. It was just perfect time. He had a joke, and he went, and the drum line went, and he went. I said, I got that. I got to do that. That's gonna be my sack move, right? So, the very first one, it was like, I got up. I'm like, and did the little look like a little underhand chip or putt or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got 4 sacks in that game. And just so happened that I had a good day.
Mhm.
And George Brett that week hit his 3,000 hit.
Ooh, there you go.
So, and I was like, so one of the guys asked me, one of the, media guys asked me, like, hey, what you doing out there? Is that a contribute to George Brett? I said, hell yeah. Tell George Brett, if I was playing long enough, I can get 3,000 hits. 3,000 sacks. Just jokingly.
Yeah.
But then I said, okay, well, George is a baseball swing. So the next time I do it, I got to make sure they know it's going to be a baseball swing. So I kind of brought it up a little bit.
There you go. And endear yourself to the fans a little bit too.
Yeah, brought
There
it
you
up.
go.
And then I pointed, I did the Babe route. I would go out there and point to where I want to go at with it. You want it, and then go somewhere with it.
I love it.
Yeah. So it was a little fun, involved with it, along with that. And, the nose piece came. I broke my nose.
Yeah.
I got it replaced. Look better than I ever
That
did
does look
now.
good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look distinguished, kind of like
So I had to
young
wear a
Michael.
nose Band-Aid, and I took the Band-Aids off, and I was on a radio show, not as big as y'all podcast because you
Oh.
guys got a lot of listeners.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This
We
is a
like to
radio
think so.
show, local radio show, and this girl calls in with a question, where's the Band-Aid at? And I said, what Band-Aid? The one you wore on your nose. She's like, hey, if you can bring that back, you look so mean in that. I said, oh, you like that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Okay, well, cool. There was one young lady asked me that, and I brought it back, and it was white. And then after that, I started put some color on it, and
It's your trademark.
yeah. And so, but now that's the one that got away. I was going to tell you this. The one that got away. I've told my my PR lady, Nancy Mitchell, at the time. She was Jordan's PR lady. She did a lot of stuff for a lot of players on the league, and I said, hey, would you go in and see if you can, patent this thing, because it's so catchy. Everybody's doing it now. It's like, whatever. And she said, oh, yeah. So she goes to Johnson & Johnson, and she said, hey, I got this football player. He's wearing this Band-Aids on your nose. She said, could you do something for us? So, so Johnson & Johnson made a Band-Aid for everybody in the stands for my foundation, but they stole my patent because the next week or two, they came out with a Breathe Right.
The breathe right.
The one that got
No
away.
way.
The one that got
That
away.
is so
Yeah,
dirty.
the one that got away.
They did you dirty, man.
I could have brought y'all all Breeze Right, man. I would have stepped in and said, hey, man, y'all got this. This is mine. I own it.
Yeah.
So if we buy breathe rights, it's
You got to think about
shit
it.
should go to you.
It was mine. It was me in the beginning. And then I started seeing racehorses wearing them. It's like,
Wow.
Like
Yeah,
kids growing up playing football would wear that because of you.
yeah, absolutely.
And then Johnson
No.
& Johnson does their
It did me in, man.
Man.
Give me my money. I need some royalties.
seriously though.
Well, so really quick, you mentioned your foundation. I've read a lot about this
Yes.
too. Can you tell the listeners about your foundation and what you've been doing with that?
Okay, so my foundation started by my foundation is called the Third and Long Foundation. It was founded by Derek Thomas, the late Derek Thomas. It was his dream. It was his passion. He was the man of the year with this. When Derek died, the president asked me, would I come on and help, with the reading program that Derek started. And I gave her my blessings that, I would do anything because he was my best friend. He was like a little brother that I've always wanted. We competed against everything. We did everything together. And it was probably one of the hardest death that I ever had. I buried my mom and dad, and I never grieve as hard as I, grieved when that young man, passed. So I just say that, if you ever want to get involved, be a part of it. We got a turkey drive that comes up. We give Legends Awards away. We give scholarships away from the foundation. We just do so many things in the community, and we just need people help. Any every dollar helps. Save a kid, learn them how to read, and get them to the next level. So I really appreciate everybody that does it. We have a turkey drive next week that's come up. We fell a little short, on our turkey drive about, about $5,000, but guess what? We're still going to feed close to 2,000 families. So
That's awesome.
Love it.
so it's like, the little things sometimes that's so important that we forget about. And I know it's kind of like on me because I put everything on myself, that this is what Derek we started this way back in the days, and giving back and that's what I'm going to do. You know, I'm not using his name for, a platform. That was his baby. And I want to make sure all the way to the end, that's what you do for a best friend.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Y'all gonna let me get away?
Listen.
Y'all gonna let me get away without this? That's it? All right, that's cool.
What? No, that's great. We'll make sure to clip that up and
Yeah.
let
Ambassador,
you.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I don't mean to put you guys on the spot real quick, but Wisconsin week, just real quick. I'm gonna give mine because I have it on the top of my head. A scoring prediction. Okay, I have Neil Smith sitting here. The current players, your son is gonna watch this and they're gonna feel freaking inspired. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna break this losing streak. Okay, I'm gonna say Nebraska 20, Wisconsin 14.
I'm gonna take the over 27-21, Nebraska.
Okay. Connor, what you got?
What do you think, guys? Come on, get in the spirit.
I'm in the spirit.
In the spirit of Nebraska one-score games, I'm going to call this Nebraska 24, Wisconsin 21. Nebraska takes the win.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
In the spirit of getting champagne from Macadoodles tomorrow while you're going to see your boy Neil over here.
Yep.
I'm going to go get that champagne and we're going to win and make a bowl game for the first time since 2016. We're going to win 28-13.
Ooh, okay.
I think Wisconsin's going to struggle. They're going to struggle to score the ball.
Turnovers.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they fired their OC this week. We're on week 2 of a new OC. Hey, go Big Red, right? We do have a comment in the chat, 499 from the BA Coaches Show. He just says, I don't have a ton of questions, but I just want to support the boys. Appreciate you talking ball with a legend. Go Big Red till I'm dead. Shout out BA. We love you.
That's
What do we think, guys?
Yeah.
good?
I mean, I don't really have much else. I just want to thank you for spending the time with us tonight.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for all that you do in the community. It's awesome that you guys are giving back and here in Omaha and putting a business out here in Omaha.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'm excited. Hopefully we can do some stuff with Macadoodles in the future. And if
all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Oh,
Y'all
please
do
do.
y'all do something with Macadoodle on the spot.
yeah.
You have to find something to do.
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
So y'all give me y'all word, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
did this for free, right? And some
Yeah.
beer. I got a beer.
That's right.
All right. So all publicity is good publicity. I appreciate you guys very much. But who had the question early when I walked in there about the Hall of Fame?
Oh,
Jared.
that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was you?
That was me.
Well, what was your question now? Because I didn't answer you. But I'm
Well,
gonna give you your last word.
well,
you get the last word.
I had asked you, I go, how the hell are you not a Nebraska Football Hall of Famer?
Oh, you said Nebraska Hall of Fame. Okay.
Yeah.
And the NFL Hall of Fame.
Both.
NFL
Well,
Hall of
Nebraska
Fame.
Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. But the NFL Hall of Fame, there's no way I should not be in the NFL Hall of Fame. Now I hear guys speak on themselves or whatever, but you put the numbers up against the numbers. The numbers don't lie. I never once played the game thinking that I would be there, but it would be an honor and a pleasure knowing that I see the people that went before me, that I was, that I deserve it. So I'm in the top 50.
Mhm.
I don't know, I went down to maybe 15 or 20 at one time. So, and my time is running out. So I don't know.
Yeah. How does
it
that
go.
work?
I have no idea. There's some kind of way they put you in the legend or whatever. It's been over 24 years since I played. So,
Yeah.
the
Man.
time is tickling, brother.
Yeah.
But one thing I've always told my family, like, you know what? It would be an honor and a pleasure if I'm still here to receive it.
Yes.
But if it doesn't happen that way, I don't know if I feel the same way. Like, give me my roses now. I can smell them.
Right.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
me my beer. I can drink it.
Freaking A.
Yeah.
And give me a bed where I can go lay down and sleep.
I love
But when
it.
I'm dead, I mean, what use of it for my grandkids and my kids? Okay,
Neil, I'll tell you what.
Keelan's going to be there. Like, no, I want to be there.
yeah, man. Open invitation, brothers.
I'll tell you what.
There's gonna be a
Gold-
bus coming from it or a plane. I know you guys know planes, right? Well, Mr. Buffett, just have Mr. Buffett give you a plane and get that crew out here.
Yeah.
You give Mr. Buffett to give us anything.
I'll tell you what. Gold is your color. We need to get you a jacket. That
Gold is my
gold.
color. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Hey,
no doubt.
if when you get that Hall of Fame bust, are you gonna have the Band-Aid on your nose?
Absolutely.
I
It's
think
part
you
of the,
got
it's
to,
part
right?
of the prop, right?
Yeah.
Freaking
Part
A.
of the prop. I will have one. I promise you, and I will put it on there. I will put it on the bus, no doubt. Now, would
love
they
it.
keep it there? I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah, no doubt. It will be one. Yeah.
Listen, yeah, we're going to You don't need to do that because, like you said, you're the silent type.
I'm the silent type, brother.
We'll try to push that out there.
I'm the silent type.
Hashtag it.
I like to be the silent assassin. That's all.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
Well, look, you had said that you didn't answer my question, but you did because you said, "Well, my numbers speak for themselves. I don't need to sit here and please put me in the hall." You don't need to do that.
But here's how it's so, it's really political. It's really, I play golf now, right? And I wanted to go to the what do they call this golf tournament that they have in Tahoe every year, right? Celebrity golf tournament that they have. And I remember one time I'm asking the Tahoe people to, where I could come out, and play in it. And they looked at me and he said, "You know what?" He said, "How many followers you have?"
No.
And I said, "Well, I really don't believe in, the social media thing now. It's kind of new. It was just up and coming. It's
Right.
like, and I really don't have, that many followers because I really don't post a lot of stuff. And I need to get more active in it, but it's almost like homework for me. I'm to the age where I'm not looking for nobody.
Hey, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have kids. No, I have grandkids. I
Yeah.
got 9 grandkids.
They can run it for you.
I have 8 kids, huh?
They can run it for you.
Exactly. Well, most of my kids are busy.
Yeah.
But then I have the 3 little ones that's 11, and they, they ain't ready yet for that.
No.
They just got
Don't
their
give 'em
first
the power.
iPhones.
Yeah.
And, I got one to text me today, and she was like, "Hey, send me a picture of her, her iWatch is broke." And she's like, "Well, what I'm going to do with this?" I said, "Well, it sounds like you're going to throw it away because I don't know if it can be fixed." But it's always something with these kids, man. So I don't deal with that, that situations, that type of thing. But it was good to know that I can't play golf in the Tahoe tournament because I didn't have enough followers. So
Yeah, that's a wild.
I just thought it was a golf event. You can, you can play golf and you can go and play with the celebrities.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's
Hey.
pretty easy.
Hey, you're a celebrity in our studio anytime.
Thank you,
so.
Brandon. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'll be back someday, man.
Yeah.
All right, we
Yeah.
hope so.
We will gladly have you back anytime.
Yeah. Come on out to Macadoodles tomorrow and see me.
4
I'd
to
love to
6?
see
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
4 to
Yeah,
6.
I love to see, pack the house. I'm really trying to bring some awareness. It's a very new area that's in that region. Randall with the group that have both hotels, and now they have the Macadoodle in the same area. So
I love it.
yeah, and it's real close to the highway. That's all I know. It's not right off the highway.
Yeah. It's
Even
right
better.
right before Nebraska gets that 6th win or another loss. Get your beer, your champagne, your whiskey.
Yeah.
Get it at Macadoodles tomorrow, 4 to 6.
We should have some kind of way we bring your game tickets from whoever win in Omaha. You can get a keg out there and just get you one draft, go home.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But I ain't selling no liquor, man. I can't do that because you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Well, it's good seeing you guys, man.
Hey,
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank
man.
you.
We'll wrap up. Neil Smith, thank you again so much. Like, put this man.
One of these.
Hey, take some home. Take-
Yeah, you can take whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Okay. Go to nbnrpodcast.com. Go follow us. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What am I missing?
Twitter.
YouTube.
Twitter, all that stuff.
All that stuff, see?
Yeah, all
man,
that
That
stuff.
sound like
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
The old man. Macadoodles
Yeah.
tomorrow, 4 to 6. Get there, see this man.
Get her done.
Get an autograph.
Get her done.
He's signing autographs.
Yeah.
Get her
sign an
done. My
autograph.
man Larry, the cable guy.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
Big ups to Larry
Okay. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Connor Kavalak.
and Neil Smith.
As always, beat Wisconsin
See ya.
in GBR.
Awesome.
There it is.
I love that.
Cool.